chance to seal it. It's done. It's Georgie Kelly. Rotherham United's pathway back to the Championship is opening up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to New York Talk. This is the Rotherham United podcast, and we are back to update the latest Rotherham news. There's been an incoming and outgoing and the start of the pre-season campaign begun. So we're going to cover all that in the next 45 minutes or so. Danny's back with us. How are you doing, Danny?
I'm doing all right, thank you. How are we all?
Very good, mate. Thank you for being with us. Kev Johnson's back. How are you doing, Kev?
Good, mate. Yeah, I'm just a bit gutted I missed that Parkgate show last Friday.
Yeah. We'll cover what happened in the game, which wasn't much, but yeah, we'll go through that. And Mick is with us from everybody's favourite location. He is in a car park in North Wales. How is it going, Mick?
All good, mate. Yeah, thank you very much. Weather's beautiful. Co-op looks nice. Beer is calling me, so let's make this quick.
Who's calling you?
The beer.
The beer's
a shelf
calling.
full of beer in here, mate, or a fridge full of beer. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Buy it.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. We'll cover all these things. We've got Neil Liversidge with us, Dave Lawton, Luca Wildgoose, Steve Grundy, Damien Dunkley, Carl Briggs, and Demi Cordor with us. Let us start with Shelley's comment, which says, "Evening, lads. Can't believe we've managed to sign a Brazilian international. What a signing. Best right back in the league." That's in relation to Caf-who, who was the first... This might sound harsh, Danny, but this feels like the first proper signing. Because Grant Moore was here last year. Dylan Phillips, second choice keeper. This is the first one you sort of go, right, okay, here we go. This business started now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's a bit of a coup, if you ask me. A coup for Caf-who, if you like. Because we've seen the positive response that Forest fans have given him from his couple of years there. Granted, he didn't make that many appearances last season, but he seems a little bit of a cult hero at Forest, which is always good. I think when a fan base really does praise a player, we've seen it, and we've sent off, likes of Barlaser, Crooks, multiple people where that we've just wished them well and they're good players, and it feels like we've got that from Forest. And after seeing a few of his clips that have been posted out here, there, and everywhere, he loves to absolutely run Sheffield Wednesday ragged, apparently, with the few clips that I've seen. But also, he's got an absolute cracker of a shot on him as well. So we might see a contention for goal of the season with him and a Dauphin battling it out with each other. But he's not scared to get stuck in and win the ball either. He feels like slightly more attacking minded, but like an in the trenches sort of midfielder, which I think will be quite good. We've got the little terrier that likes to run everywhere in Ollie Rathbone. We've got Jamie Lindsay, who's like the slightly bigger terrier that just gets stuck in everywhere. We've got Wilesy as your box to box all rounder sort of player. Then you've got a Dauphin sitting slightly deeper, but with a cracking shot, and now we've got Caf-who as well. So that is quite a nice looking midfield, if you ask me.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen him, obviously, Kev, but it strikes me as this is maybe what Keane was meant to be. A bit quite very mobile, a bit more forward thinking, got the legs to go in and around the pitch. And this guy's got pedigree. He's not played loads, but he's played enough in a promotion winning team, and that's great to have in and out squad.
Yeah, it was. I think in 2020-21 season for Forest, it was a big part of it. And like Danny says, getting rave reviews, and a friend of mine was a good friend of mine was a big Forest fan. Nothing but good things to say about him. He's actually gutted he's leaving. He says, obviously, no disrespect to Rotherham, but he's a better player than that, and he's probably got a point. But going back to what you said about it feels like the first real signing for me. It feels like the first real signing for years. It feels like Rotherham's never been linked with a player of this pedigree, I don't think, for as long as I can remember. Very excited. If he can stay fit, we can literally build. I think, obviously, Taylor's started with the defence. He's got that, looks like, sewn up and sorted. And I think with Caf-who coming in, if he stays fit, he can run that midfield and everything can circle around him. I think it's quite exciting. Obviously, we're still a few short, but it's coming along nicely.
Yeah, Matt Miller says midfield is still without creativity. I think that's what Caf-who will bring. It doesn't. I don't think he's a Dan Barlas replacement, but he certainly brings you something else in that central area. Some people, another one thing to take, maybe a negative. It's another 1 year contract. That's everybody. I think everybody that's signed so far is on a 1 year contract. What are your thoughts on that? He is 30 years old. I don't think he's had massive injury issues, but he hasn't played much over the past few years, Mick. Thoughts on another sort of short-termer?
Well, I think you've answered the question in what you've answered the question within the question, aren't you? Really, there, he's kind of he's no young man anymore, and he's going to be on high wages. We're not in a position where we can start offering contracts out to players on double figures grand a week, are we? We go down. If we were to go down at the end of next season, we're going to be stuck in League One with a load of players on top whack money. Look, we're going to have to compromise. We know as Rotherham United supporters, we're going to have to compromise. We either buy players who are going to be hopefully ones for the future and try and develop them and sell them on, or if we're going to buy developed players with quality and experience and pedigree, like Kev's just mentioned there, we're going to end up having to get them on shorter contracts. You can't have everything. So for me, it's a very, very good signing, a very positive signing. He's vastly experienced and a quality footballer. And like Danny said, the comments coming out of Forest are virtually all positive. So it's another step forward for Rotherham United. I know it's a 1 year contract, and I accept that, and it's something for people to moan about. So that's another bonus, isn't it? It keeps them quiet and stops them banging on about the fact that we only beat Parkgate 2-0. So whatever it is that they want to moan about, but ultimately it's sensible for the club for me.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. People in the comments agree. John Morell says 1 year contract sensible. He isn't a long term. There's no resale value of smart business. Scriv 2 says a 1 year deal pleases all parties. Yeah. I think that's great. Well, maybe in a few weeks next week, so we'll try and get a Forest fan on to ask him a bit more details about how exactly how it plays. Because I know the name Danny. I know obviously everybody knows the name Caf-who. And I know he's a midfielder. I know he's got a bit of creativity, but I couldn't tell you any more specifics about him other than that. Have you got any other knowledge on this guy, Danny?
I've just had a little bit of a browse on Transfermarkt to have a look at him. He's got a current market value of about 600,000, which, according to Transfermarkt, puts him as the 9th highest ranked player in our squad. I haven't looked which of the other ones are, but I imagine Victor's top, just as to guess. And it seems like last season, Caf-who was sort of a victim of Forest's success, because we all know the story that they went up to the Premier League and then bought effectively an entire neighbourhood's worth of players. So he seems like he was a little bit of a victim of their success. He only made one sub-appearance, and it went on for 6 minutes in the Premier League. But he sort of seems like the character that, it was still there for the team, the dressing room sort of character. And even in Forest promotion season, he didn't really play too much. I think there were only 14 league appearances or something like that. But if he's already got a bit of a cult status at Forest through making not like a season's worth of appearances, it shows that when he's called upon, he does the job very effectively. And, he's done it at the top end, and he's coming into a squad that will be in and around more the bottom end. So it could be a very crucial player in the moments where, we need someone who knows the division. We need the experience level. We need someone who knows the game effectively, just to come on and have a bit of stability with us. It looks like he's quite a creative player with the amount of tackles that he wins and the distribution going forward. I'm not sure about his defensive attributes in midfield. We'll have to wait and see with that. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to see what comes of it, if I'm being honest, because like we say, it feels more like a championship signing. It feels like he's the sort of player that we should be going after. I don't know if we've battered away other teams and won the signature, but I'm just excited to see what happens with him. And that's it. It's just exciting because we've seen signings in the past where we've come up from League One, but they feel almost like more League One signings that we've made. You know, they feel like they're the signings to compete at the top end of League One if we go down next season. But this season, it feels like, you know, even with the players we've re-signed, they feel more like divisional signings rather than covering our backs for next season if we go down. So, like I said, I'm very excited about it. It one of them where it was announced, and it's like, have we?
Oh.
I thought it were a wind up to start with. It's like, oh, that is the club's account.
Yeah. So let's talk about just the general midfield now, Kev. Where is that done? Are you happy with the midfield? Do you still think there's something missing? Because we've got Wilesy, right? Assuming these all stay, which they might not. Wilesy, Rathbone, Odoffin, obviously now Caf-who.
Lindsay.
Say again, sorry.
Jamie Lindsay.
Jamie Lindsay, yeah. So you've got 5 good midfielders there.
No wingers. Well, I think they're all kind of central-ish midfielders for me. That's great. That's great. We've got fantastic. Probably 5 playing in 3 positions, but depending what formation we play, we're still a winger or 2 short. Definitely. So midfield's looking strong, a lot stronger than last season, I would say. But we're still missing a couple of wingers, so it's great in the middle of the park. That's tied up nicely. A couple of injuries, we've still got cover, which is and quality cover. But we're still a couple of wingers short. But yeah, like Danny says about this Caf-who, I'm really. I know I keep going about it. It is like a first. I can't remember ever signing anybody. On loan, we've had a few stars. Don't get me wrong, but this guy, we signed him. He's a Rotherham United player, a permanent transfer. You know, the 1 year thing. Yeah, he'll be on a fortune. This kid, he'll not be cheap. Tony's up in his wallet for this one. So yeah, excited. And he's a beast, isn't he? Have you seen pictures of him? I don't want to mess with him. I'm hoping he's scared of a few midfields, but yeah. Answer to your question is we're still a couple short, especially out wide.
Not to sound obsessed or anything, but can you imagine Caf-who coming up against Barry Bannon?
So
Goliath.
Salary Sport were reporting when he was at Olympiacos, he was on nearly 15k a week. That will be higher probably, but being in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So let's see how that goes. Nicholas Skidmore says we need 2 wide men at least. Andy Parker, two new wingers needed. Mick, we talked about this last week, but we're still same situation. We've got Shane Ferguson. That's it in terms of a wide players. You don't really have anybody else because of the loan players that were here. Chio's gone back. That's probably in terms of depth. Certainly, that's the weak area, the wide area, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm going back to the last podcast now. We need some legs out wide and up top, don't we? So, yeah. I mean, we do, and that's I'm sure that's on the agenda. This is the first of I'm sure many that will be coming in over the next few weeks. So, I trust them. I trust them to do the right thing, and so far so good. They've not let us down so far with the signings that we've made. And as Danny pointed out quite rightly, there these are championship players. They're not people like I said earlier on that we're looking to develop and turn into championship players. They are established championship footballers, and I'm sure out wide and up front we will be fishing in the same pond. Hopefully, we'll be as successful. So at the moment, there's no reason not to trust Matt Taylor, Rob Scott, and the rest of them involved in this. No reason not to trust them to do the right thing and get the right players in.
Yeah, we do have a trialist or the guy that's gone over to Spain with the team at Sulai Kai, I think. How you say it. He was at McDonald's last season. But they got relegated. It doesn't fill with too much confidence. But you don't know. We almost signed Will Big last summer, and he went to McDonald's. So we don't know. Let's see what happens with that one moving forward. So let's move to the outgoings, Danny. Outgoing. Let's start with John's comment. John's comment. Connor Washington was the most League One signing ever, and that's fitting that he's gone back to League One. No real surprise. This was mooted in January, to be honest, with Connor Washington going to Derby. There were sort of links back then. And yeah, thoughts?
I think if Well, I think it's a case of possibly Washington pushing for a move because he still had a year left on his contract. But it seems to be a running theme over the last few clubs of his career, really. I remember he was at Sheffield United, signed a 2-year deal, but left after a year. And then it seems to be the same with us. He sort of came in, did a fairly good job, if I'm being honest. Like, he scored a few crucial goals. The one highlight for me was the one against Reading, which I thought was absolutely fantastic at the time. But after rewatching the Millwall game, it's a bit of a I wonder if that Reading goal was actually a bit lucky because the game against Millwall, the exact same opportunity happened and he skied it. So it's like, But anyway, but yeah, Washington sort of came in and did a job. I think. I just think it's because he's moved to Derby, it almost feels like he signed for Rotherham with his connection to Paul Warne, and he sort of warmed to Paul Warne a bit more. And I don't know, maybe that's what's tempted him away back to Derby. He's linking up with Josh Vickers as well. So it's a bit, if you wanted to see out your contract, fair enough. If you've gone, also fair enough. Where's the comment about him? Here we go from Andy Park. Never really pulled up any trees. Yeah, I'd say Kelly's pulled up more trees just through his unorthodox nature and his hard work. But yeah, I'd say fair enough to Washington move him. Fair enough. Good luck. Hopefully, we're bringing somebody else to fill it, or it opens the door a bit more for Georgie Kelly to play.
Yeah. Carbrick says 2 players that's gone back to Paul Warne now. Shanish says another player we've got no money for. Now, who knows? Well, the club obviously always do it at undisclosed fees. There was a Derby journal that's saying we don't get any money unless they're successful. We don't know. If we get, to be fair, Kev, if we get anything for him, it would never in Matt Taylor's plan. So if you get anything for him, that's great. But you've got him off wage bill and you can move on and bring somebody else in now.
Yeah, and I think that's key. And obviously, I echo what Danny said. I'm quite sad to see him go. I think we're an hard-working and a grafter. But when they put that board up and you're coming on, you didn't get excited. You didn't think this guy can change a game. Whereas Georgie Kelly, even though I'm not, it's probably Washington's probably a more established striker than Kelly, but he excites you. You do believe that he can change a game, whereas Washington couldn't. So, he's got his move. Deserves his move, I suppose. He's probably a bit more money. He's probably going to get a regular start and link it with Warney and Vickers and co. And I think we'll get money because I might get slated for this, but I think Derby will walk that league next year. I think they'll do really well. They've bought. I think they've signed Sonny Bradley from Luton. That's quality signing for League One. But yeah, he was great. He was an hard worker, but didn't excite me. So let him go for me. But again, that's a position we do need someone else to come in because Kelly, as much as I've just said, he excites when he comes on. He's not championship standard yet.
No, I agree. IFC says every club does undisclosed fees. Mostly do, only a report to leak the price.
I've seen a lot of stuff floating about on Twitter that we get no initial fee up front, but like you say, Matt, there's a clause if Derby go up and then we get a transfer fee for him or something like that. But we got Wash on a free, so he's off the wage bill a little bit, and I imagine he was on a fair whack for our sort of level. But yeah, I just say all the best to him.
Yeah, Mick, thoughts? I liked Washington's work rate. He's a Paul Warne signing. He's the guy you want to start in the Paul Warne press, but he is limited. And I agree with most. I don't think he's a championship player, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel a bit guilty saying that, but I do agree with you. He seems a likeable bloke, and he's an experienced bloke as well. But he's had his opportunity at championship level, and he's just not been able to cement a place at all, has he? He's some pretty horrendous misses as well. I think possibly, I hate to say it because like what do I know? But I think probably League One is his level. And I think he'll excel there. But I think probably, given the stage of his career and everything else, maybe the Championship's a step too far for him. I mean, look at those Rotherham United fans talking about things like that. But he's had his chance, hasn't he? Unfortunately, he's not been able to take it for whatever reason. And I agree with Kev. Georgie Kelly is not a championship footballer yet. Whether he ever will be in his career is up for debate. However, it doesn't matter what level he's playing at, he can and will change a game. And so I suppose that almost contradicts what I've just said. He'll come on in a championship game and change it. So is he a championship player? Has he got that quality? He's certainly got the quality to do that. You put him within 6 yards of that goal and he will hit the target. Within 18 yards of the goal, he will hit the target. So yeah, it's not a big deal for us, is it? And Warney's gathering his family around him, isn't
he? Yeah, true, very, very true. Talking of Georgia hitting the target, Danny, that brings us on nicely to Friday night at the Parkgate. 2-0 win. Colin Bramall and Georgie Kelly with the goals in the first half. It's just nice to back up football. That's it, really. That's all I'm taking away from the game.
Yeah, I'm taking away that Georgie has the ability to score against Parkgate to Burnley. So that is a range, isn't it? You can score against Parkgate, you can score against Burnley. Well, again, Burnley came on and changed the game, but with Parkgate, he started well. But anyway, the opening at Parkgate, it's just like that little warm up. Like we're back, sending the lads off to the training camp, like our little taster of effectively where they are. We got to see a lot of younger players. There were a lot more academy players in it this time around. I noticed names that we'd not actually seen before. We recognise DeRose and McGuckin and such, but there were a few names like we saw a little bit of Holvey at the back end of last season, but we've not really seen anything major. And then there are a few players who aren't full-time professionals that are still in the academy setup that got given their run out as well, which was actually nice to see. It wasn't the goal fest that we've had in the past against Parkgate either. But yeah, like I say, it's just a little warm up. This is a game where you can still just relax into it a little bit. It's like the nice opening of we're back at it. We said on the post-match reaction we can't really look too much into this game because it's just a run out. But yeah, just nice to be back.
Yeah, well, do you think I take on from me, Kevin, with the formation we played 3-5-2, but was that because they didn't have the players? They hadn't got players to play any of the formations, so maybe can you even take a formation out of it?
I wish I could answer your question, mate. Oh, you talked to me on Mick?
Kev, yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate. I didn't go. I didn't go. I was at a James concert in Halifax, and I didn't even check the who played, how they played, who scored. I didn't even know Kelly scored until you just said that. So you're asking the wrong person. Move on to Mick. I ain't got a clue.
Go on, Mick.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same as Danny. You can't take anything from the game, and I don't think you even should try to take anything from the game, whether it be formation or player performances. That fixture for a start is more a symbolic fixture, isn't it? It's there to give Parkgate the funds for the season, or certainly for a good proportion of their season, and it does that. It gives the players, like you say, a bit of a run out. It's not a competitive game, but it's more competitive than a training match on between themselves, and it gives them an opportunity for some of the academy lads to get a run out with first team. So I don't think you can take anything from the game at all, realistically. You can see who's looking fit and who isn't. I thought Hakeem Adoffin looks like 10 men, doesn't he? He's just unbelievably fit. So I thought Morrison had a good game. He gaffed that back line, but then when he swapped him for Hall, so did Hall. But as far as taking anything from it, nah. The only people that can really take anything from it is Parkgate, and that's the however many tens of thousands of pounds that they made out of it, which is great. Yeah. And like you said, Matt, it's great just to be around the players and the fans again. I really love it. I really enjoy it. It's a great atmosphere. It's just great. It's sun shining, and it's a lovely opener, if you like, to to the start of the season.
Yeah. Agreed. So if anybody's getting upset that we only beat Parkgate 2-0 or something like that, don't worry about it. It's fine. Who cares? Especially look at the second.
The amount of key players that were on the touchline as well, just watching.
Exactly.
I don't even think Hugo was there.
I didn't see Hugo. Rathbone was there, but
Rathbone was there. JJ was there. Bowler was there as well. I mean, there were a scattering of players on the touchline that have been rested for one reason or another. I imagine with Rathbone, it was just don't get him injured. But they're all out in Spain now, which is like the real fitness and ideology input session in nice weather as well. The lucky sods. I'm happy with the game against Parkgate. The only thing I will say is the difference in footballing ability. Not a dig at all, right? But the difference, like you watch Championship football and how free flowing it is, and that's obviously what Rotherham tried to play. But Parkgate, because of their level, which is level 9 or 10 of the pyramid, where Parkgate are.
I think it's bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah, whichever level it is, compared to Championship football, it's so unorthodox, but the love for the game carries it through. But to see those two sort of styles come up against each other makes it a lot more entertaining. And to see how Parkgate handled Rotherham in that game, I think Parkgate have got a solid squad this season as well. And I'm sort of keeping an eye on them to see how they do, because I think they'll do well.
Yeah, they did. When we played last year, they did really well, and then they lost all the players to Malta. So hopefully for them it don't go again. Shelley wants to know, Kev, thoughts on the third kit, the pink one. What are we calling it? Pink, lilac, or something?
I'm actually colourblind, so I really am as well. So I don't know. I like it. I like the shade of it. Let's say.
Yeah.
I think I'm impressed with all three this year. I'm not really I'm wearing this, but it's only for the auspice thing. But I don't really generally buy shirts, but I do like all three this year. Especially the second kit's my favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mick's not a fan of the third kit. He likes the first. I think I'm right in saying, Mick, you like the first two. You're not a fan of the third one. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it is pink, isn't it? It's kind of a pinky lilac. And if you're going to go pink, they should be going the same colour as that goalkeeper strip that Victor had. It should be magenta. It should be a bright, in-your-face pink colour. But it's all right, isn't it? It's all right. I thought, to be fair, I thought the first team strip looked really well. On Friday night. I've not seen it close up to have a look at this floodlight that everybody keeps banging on about, but we'll see. Yeah. And I'm not listening to John because I'm still wearing. I'm wearing this shirt because Hammerby won today, John. So that's a good day. England won, Hammerby won. What can I say? It's been a good day.
It's not been a bad Sunday in that sense, yeah. I obviously ask who leaked the kit. I mean, it was leaked. To be fair, it's not bad, Danny, to be fair, that only one of the three kits got leaked. That's not bad going, to be fair.
No, that's not bad at all. And they had absolutely no idea about the Caf-who signing either. So to bring those two together, it's like, very nice.
I'm not convinced that Sam Todd and his team didn't deliberately leak those pictures of it so that they could do the announcement of the new signing. I'm not convinced about that at all. A good move if it was. Really good move, like it.
That'd be incredible if that's the case.
Yeah.
New segment, mixed conspiracy theories.
Tinfoil hat time with Meg.
I've got plenty more if you're interested.
Another thing to take from Friday, maybe Kev, there's no official captain in been announced yet. Sean Morrison was the first half captain, which was interesting because last season Ben Wiles was vice captain. And Sean Morrison played and Ben Wiles played, so Sean Morrison got the armband. Do you think does he feel like more of a sort of natural leader?
Yeah, I think we discussed it on last week's show, didn't we? And obviously Ben Wiles got the vice captain's armband from Paul Warne, so Taylor's come in. For me, I think if you've got a goalkeeper or defender, they should always be the captain anyway, leading from the back, and they can spread the voice across the whole pitch rather than if you're midfield, you're that way. At least if you're defence, you're always looking forward, apart from goalkeepers behind. So yeah, I think he will be captain, and rightly so. Can't see Wiles being that bothered about it. But yeah, so yeah, definite captain for me. I think we discussed it last week, didn't we? He'll be the man.
Yeah. I like this pound for pound. Because the third kit looks like hospital pajamas.
I quite like this one I'm wearing. I'd have had this as a third kit.
That were good that were released. I like to see them go daft sometimes with kits. I don't think it's quite daft enough. I like a third kit to be a bit daft, but it is what it is.
Good support Barnsley then, because they've gone daft with their first kit.
Yeah, there's daft and then there's whatever that is. Let's talk about some rumours, which I know is Mick's favourite part of the show. So the one that's come up today, Danny Barth has been linked with us. This has come from, I think, Alan Nixon from the Sun, who does from the Sun. I'll be honest with you, I thought we were done. Centre-half wise, I thought we were done. This will take us on to 6, will it? If he comes in.
Let's work it out. So we've got Humphreys, Morrison, Peltier. He can sort of be centre back, right back. Blackett, Hall, Hull, but that could be a loan out, to be fair. So yeah, it would take us on to 6. And McCart as well. Yeah. So it'll make it 8 overall, maybe 7 first team ish. No disrespect to J. Cole, but I think moving up slowly, maybe a League One low for him, maybe the top end League Two, that'd suit him perfectly. But yeah, I think it's more of a thing of we've signed these centre backs on 1-year deals. It's sort of Morrison was a bit injury prone, Hall became a bit injury prone, and we had a lot of the centre back role just left empty because of how many injuries we'd had. So it might be a covering of backs thing. And if we bring Danny Barth in as a covering back, that's another championship signing. That to just be able to compete with it, whether it's a thing of bringing the older experienced players for Humphreys to pump up and improve a lot more as well. So he's always got that senior head next to him, which is, we learned that's his comfort, if you like. He performs a lot better when there's the more senior head next to him, whether it was Morrison, Hall, Woody, and even Peltz at times. Humphreys always performed better when he had the guy with the knowledge next to him. So it could be related to that. Again, it could be the injuries thing. But just want to sign out, if we do sign Danny Barth, with my track record of mispronouncing players' names, he will be called Danny Bath.
There's no R in it, is there?
Exactly. It's just 2 T's, so it's Danny Bath.
Yeah, and the other link, Kev, is Christ. Christ Tahihi. I'm not sure his name, to be honest with you. I don't know about you. I don't know much about him, Kev, to be honest with you. I know he was at Wigan, and from what I've seen from Wigan fans, they are very positive. I think, again, is there be another central midfielder, which I don't know.
Yeah. Without searching, weren't quite successful at Slavia Prague or somebody, or something like that.
Something like that. Sorry, Liberec, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, quite. Again, don't know much about him, but it's quite exciting. He sound like if he's as good as he sounds, then he should be shit out, shouldn't he? Really, but
yeah.
But I won't say it's nailed on that he comes in, but you never know. According to some people on Twitter, usual suspects, it's a done deal. He's already out there. Not seen on any pitches in Spain or anything. But back to the Danny Barth one, I think that there could be some truth in this. Yeah, I don't know why. I think he's a solid. It kind of ticks all the boxes of a Taylor-esque defender what he wants, and I can see definitely Hull and probably McCart going out on loan as well. So excited, and we are going to get some injuries. There's no way Morrison and Holland can stay fit all season. So I think he's very experienced. I think he played 100+ games for Stoke, 40 or 50 for Sunderland. Yeah, be a good signing if we get him. I like him. Big, tall as well. I think he's only 6'3", but he looks a lot taller. He proper commands the back.
He's a bit old school, isn't he, in terms of he'll win everything.
Exactly.
Everything.
Yeah.
Then make a change, make the we'll sign a player who used to be at Wednesday coming to us rather than us to Wednesday. It makes a change that way around.
Yeah, it's usually players on the way down that go there, and the players on the way up that come to us, isn't it? So, and that's how it should be, really, isn't it? You know. But,
So that's why we signed Woody from Wednesday.
Precisely. You know, that's how it works with A and B teams, isn't it? You know.
There's some bait if any Piggy fans are listening.
Nibble.
Poundwed says we think we should send Danny to Spain to spy on them.
If you want to pay for it, I'm all for it.
Go from the page, Danny.
Yeah, to Spain as a spy.
Yeah.
About the Spain one though, sorry, I'm going to say I'm a bit disappointed in the club that fans can't, because I knew a few. I mean, I couldn't go some away anyway that weekend, but I knew a few lads who were willing to jump on a cheap flight to Benidorm to where we were and pop up and see a game, but they can only go to a couple of training sessions, I think, some open training sessions. I don't know why club hadn't disclosed where it's at and let some fans in. And let's be right, when are we ever going to get to see Rotherham play in Europe? This could have been a chance. Let them go.
I agree. I was speaking to somebody yesterday about it. I thought if there's a way for potentially the club to make a bit of income somehow from it.
Yeah.
Say you host a friendly, which you can hire a stadium in Spain for probably pretty cheap this time of year.
Yeah.
Sunderland, I know it's Sunderland much bigger club, but they took over Portugal last year for one of their pre-season fans. They got 4,000 or 5,000 fans.
Yeah.
So it does feel like a missed opportunity from the club. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Completely agree.
Although we've seen how secretive everything is with signings and how little information is actually coming out of the club, so maybe that is part of that umbrella, that they actually don't want people watching games to see how Taylor's employing his tactics just yet and the mindset and stuff. They've opened it to trading because it's a completely different kettle of fish to see people training to applying it into an actual game. So maybe that's why. And also, they still don't have an opponent for Tuesday.
Is Elche not on Tuesday?
No, that's on Saturday.
I think guys, they're looking for a game, aren't they? Because they were supposed to play somebody and couldn't play Barnsley.
Yeah.
Yeah. As John says, there's everybody in the championship off to Spain, so they'll probably get a behind closed doors game against another championship team.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is we announced we were going before Wednesday, so they got the idea from us. That's all I'm saying.
That's all they do, mate. That's how it works.
Who's paying for that then?
For Wednesday going over there?
Yeah, have they got to pay themselves?
I think it's everyone who's bought tickets in the South Stand. Have you seen them prices?
Yeah. If you've not had a look at the Wednesday prices, go and have a look, because it gives you an idea of what we'll be expected to pay. It's just we likely to be charged around just under £50 for an away ticket at Sheffield Wednesday this season.
I won't be. I won't be.
I'll be going to work. Never mind that. Good grief.
That's more expensive than if you buy a ticket. Well, if you on a match day corp, it's more. But if you buy it over season, that's more expensive than sitting down, pre-match entertainment, 3-course meal, bar, our ground. What are they playing at?
I don't know. Yeah, I like it. I don't like it. I think it's a joke. The fans trying to defend Chancery on this. You can't defend it. Just accept it. It's terrible.
Yeah,
and move on. Yeah. And it's not even like it's, if you were playing Spurs and it's £50 a ticket, you know what? I sort of get it. It's this fancy new stadium. It's amazing. They're a big club in a good league. I get that. This is Hillsborough we're talking about. You know what I mean? This is not a state of the art. It's not a pleasant place to watch football.
It gives you an indication as to the financial trouble that they're in. And for me, as a way supporters, I mean, it remains to be seen, doesn't it, whether it happens at Swillsborough and Elland Road and everywhere else where it's £50 a ticket or whatever. But for me, away supporters should start to vote with their feet and just simply not go. Nothing, if they're going to charge us £50 or even £40, to be honest with you, and it was £41 2 or 3 seasons ago, they're going to charge us that. Nothing would please me more than to see Leppings Lane and completely empty. Yeah. Absolutely, it would be fantastic. It would not great for the players, for our players, clearly, but supporters need to start voting with their feet and show clowns like this bloke that we're just not going to accept it, and you're just not going to get any money.
I do think as well that clubs should start their own sort of reaction to it as well. Where's the comment from Shelley IOFC? Yeah, we should return it as well. Like, I know Rotherham's prices are quite reasonable. You know, it's what is it, about 26, 27-ish on a match day?
It'll probably have gone slightly this season. I would have thought they announced it, but I think it'll go up slightly.
Yeah, well, it's under 30 quid by like a few quid anyway. But that also goes for the away fans. The away fans in the South Stand pay the same on a match day that the fans in the North Stand pay. I think that's how it works anyway. But we see teams, you know, like Sheffield United last season, all right, 33 quid, not quite as extortionate as what Wednesday are charging. But, you know, it's still a bit, that's a bit high, you know. So it should be whatever you're charging us as away fans, will charge you as away fans, because number one, it brings in a bit more income, but also number two, it's reaction based to how inflated it all is. Like Wednesday's prices in the South Stand are more than tickets to watch a Premier League game.
Yeah.
No, can you imagine Luton charging 56 quid to watch a match? Like, I think some of the best seats at the Emirates are about 56 quid. So it's a bit like either they try and bring in a cap, or we start charging them the same. And I completely agree with Shelley. Charge them the same.
Yeah, I think to add into it, I think he's trying to be a bit clever. He's trying to force fans into buying. I don't think he cares about away fans. I think he's trying to force home fans into buying season tickets by saying, if you don't buy this, you don't sign up to this season ticket, then you are going to pay through the roof. And I mean, how are they going to even categorize? So category A, which is I think they're the £59 seats. What I'm guessing Leeds, Southampton, Leicester, Rotherham. It's bonkers. Imagine Southampton. They've already got a big enough travel up to Sheffield for a game, then they want to charge them 59 quid to sit and watch it.
Yeah,
no,
it's mad. Yeah, I hope we don't charge them the same, because I don't think it's right. Let's do things our way. You know what I mean? I'm not a massive fan of the charge them. If they want to be them, let them be them.
Or we charge Chef Wednesday hospitality prices through roof instead, so then they go and complain to the chairman.
Yeah, all right. I can get on board with that. I'll charge Chancery to come in.
Even though he's never here, but anyway.
Yeah. Let's move on from that shower. Mick, IOC says, you think Coyote is gone. He doesn't think Taylor will keep him. Matt Taylor's been sort of positive. He sort of said he'll give him a chance. Thoughts on JD? He had a horrendous season last year because of injuries more than anything else, to be honest. What are your thoughts on Coyote?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because we've not really seen anything of him. Because of his injury last year, we didn't get to see anything of him at McDonald's. He's certainly got something, you know, and he's a big lad, and he's my understanding he's now he's put a little bit of timber on as well, and he's got some sort of some presence to him. So, you know, he's certainly got potential. Now, whether Matt Taylor sees that in him or not, I don't know. If he could sort of achieve that potential, he'd be a very, very useful asset to us. But it remains to be seen, I guess, what he does pre-season, and whether he stays, whether he gets sold, or whether he goes back out on loan. I genuinely don't know, because we've seen so little of him. What we have seen of him suggests to me that he could probably cut it. However, you just don't know, do you? And how susceptible is he to further injury?
True. Yeah. Yeah. And then I've got a question from Craig the Miller on Twitter. Danny, I think I know your answer to this, but he asks, does Eves deserve a chance this year? Or is he gone? Or is he as good as gone in terms of what we want from him?
I mean, with all the will in the world, I want him to do well, because I never want anybody to fail. Like, that completely goes against any sort of decent human being psychology that you've got. But it just doesn't look good for him, you know, because we've seen very, very little Eves content on social media.
Zero.
We've not really seen him at all. I don't think he was at the Parkgate game either. I've not seen him in any of the Spain stuff so far. So it just doesn't look good for him. It's like, has he travelled? Has he been left at home? I know they've mentioned a few players being left at home, like Ferguson, to finish up his rehab and stuff. But it's like, it almost feels like Eves is in limbo, which is a shame, really, because he did come in with very high aspirations for himself, didn't achieve it, and now it's a time where the manager's changed. I don't think he'll be in the new manager's plans with how we've been playing, but it's just a shame, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
It will probably go out on loan somewhere because he's still contracted for 2 years. I think it is. So I think it'll be a loan and then maybe a move on, but I just hope he settles somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Whether it's
I
here
can't see
or
getting Gale.
elsewhere.
I think it would take a horrendous injury crisis for him to get anywhere near the squad. Kevy, sort of same boat on that. It is a shame because he seems like a great guy, but you've got to be cutthroat about it, really.
Yeah, he's not really had a chance either, though, is he? To be fair, Paul Warren signed him, gave him a 3-year contract, so we've gone over 2 years' pay for his wages, and again, I have no idea. I'd guess he's on pushing towards 5 figures a month. So whoever takes him on loans, it's still going to cost us money. So he's clearly not in Taylor's plans. He's never really had a fair chance. I agree with what you said. He sounds like a great guy. Even when he took a bit of stick, then he warmed up, and fans still chant his name. And weirdly, he excites me more than Connor Washington coming on. I think when he came on, you thought this is it. This is. So I don't know. I don't know if he's gone to Spain or not, but if he has, I'd certainly give him a bit of time, give a bit of game time. But and it might be the case of having to keep him in squad and playing because we may have no other options. But me personally, I like him. I'd like to see him have a crack at it because he brings something different. To the one game last season, can't remember what it were, and he was absolutely outstanding. He won everything.
He came on against Sheffield United and played absolutely unreal. He didn't score, but the way he put him centre about and just kept the ball there, and he played really, really well.
He did.
He did.
So I'd like to see him have a chance, but whether he'll get that or not, I don't know.
No, I think I probably agree on that. Russ Vernon mentioned that some players haven't gone to Spain and didn't play for it because they had knocks, so weren't risked. That's true. I think Danny's point about not being in any of the videos of anything so far is probably more telling than anything else. If he was at the training ground, we'd have seen him by now in something, one way or the other. So yeah. Poundway started up with a question earlier. Hey guys, has Matt woke up from the cricket yesterday? So if anybody's seen, I got clipped on Sky Sports looking the most unhappiest man ever at cricket yesterday. To defend myself, it had just started raining again. But the reason I'm going to bring that up is because I wore the Matt Taylor shirt. I wore the Hawaiian shirt with Matt Taylor's face all over it. And I met a Rotherham fan who only recognised me as a Rotherham fan because he saw Matt Taylor's head on the back of my shirt. I could chat with him. And a Swindon Town fan walking down the steps to me and what you got Matt Taylor on your shirt for? So I had a conversation with a random guy about having Matt Taylor on my shirt as well. So yeah, that was fun. And England won today, which is the most important part of all that. Anything else? We've covered everything, I think. There's not much to talk about at the minute. To get 48 minutes out, this is quite good. Anything else that we need to cover from anything Miller's sort of related?
No. I'd like to plug. I'm doing a spin the wheel raffle thing for some Richard Wood signed boots. I've got 2 pairs to do it. It's only 5 to go, or three goes for £10. I'm doing it at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. It's been all right. I think we've got a couple £100 so far, which is brilliant. Thanks for everyone who's had a go. I'd like to get a bit more. So if anyone's watching and wants to have a go, get in touch on Twitter.
Cool. And Danny, do you want to let everybody know that it's the week of your charity game this week, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We did our final training session yesterday on Saturday. I'd like to apologise to the lad that I absolutely mugged off with a bit of skill. I felt awful after thinking about it and getting my breath back. That quick full limb, back heel through legs, off we go. But yeah, the charity match is on Saturday, the 15th of July, over at Flash Lane. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock. But we'll be there, bright and shiny, setting up. We'll have everything from raffles to buns and stuff, little drink and tuck shop and stuff. Grace Kelly is coming to sell some of her art as well. All money raised is going to the Rotherham Hospice, and however many times I score, it will be £5 to the hospice from myself as well, because I wrongfully had a goal ruled out for offside last time, and I'm still not over it. But yeah, this year we've got the full referee and 2 linesmen, so hopefully it's.
Have you got Mick to the reffing this year? Because I've heard he's quite, he's into reffing and that.
Mick can be 4th official if he likes.
He's into reffing and jeffing, I've heard.
But yeah, so come down to shame. But yeah, come down to Flash Lane, kick off at 1 o'clock. And I also want to say thank you again to Wayne over at Caf-who Sports for sorting out the kits. I believe they are being printed as we speak on the podcast on the Sunday. And they've got Rotherham Hospice on the front of them, just like the club's got on their kits as well. So that's fantastic. Thank you very much, Wayne. So yeah, get your sons down and come and watch 30 people attempt to play football.
There's a raffle as well, and they got some good raffle prizes as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got some decent ones this year. We've got a signed shirt from a few of the Rotherham squad that the Community Sports Trust has very kindly given us. We've got a signed ball from John Breckin. I believe he's also bringing a boxing glove signed from the England gym as well. And we also have the pair of gloves that Victor wore against Parkgate is part of the raffle as well. And we've also got a few auctions going on the Facebook page as well. We've got a signed Ollie Rathbone shirt. We've got the Ben Wiles's cricket shirt signed from the game against Wickersley. And we've also got the 17-18 playoff winning season squad signed shirt going as well. And they are closing shortly. So hop over on the Facebook page. A few of us have shared it about. And some of the bids are actually really, really well. So thank you for everyone who's donated and auctioned and bid on stuff like that. It's going to be very, very fun.
It looks like it's going to be excellent, Danny. I'm really looking forward to it. I think we might have some video actually of the training session if people are interested in watching.
Yeah.
Wow. Horrible sod.
Horrible. Low blow that, Mick.
Sorry, mate.
That's some standard, that is.
Oh, dear.
So yeah.
Danny.
Hey, it wasn't me. It wasn't me that was getting embarrassed. It's fine.
I know you messaged me about it a couple of days ago, and I didn't reply for a reason.
So yeah, more of that on Saturday. Get down and purchase loads of raffle tickets. You'll find somebody trying to sell them to you. I assure you. Make anything else you want to talk about? Is there anything you want to plug, or are you just should we crack on?
No, mate. I'm done now. That's me done.
Oh, we have got one final thing to mention. Carl Briggs saying you should be sticking to modelling. Now, if anybody's not seen this, Mick and Danny became models for the day to help promote Parkgate's new away kit, which again was sorted by Caf-who. Mick, how did you feel sort of strutting your stuff in the Parkgate's new away kit?
I feel sorry for Parkgate, to be honest, that they needed a fat bald bloke to model their kit. I mean, I know that they're obviously not massively up the football pyramid, but they got a lot fitter players than that fat bloke who were modelling kit. I'll tell you that right now. And that's not you, Danny.
Is there any pictures of this? Because I've not seen these.
Have you not seen? I'll send them you.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
You don't need to see them.
Danny, you looked more comfortable than Mick did, to be fair.
Yeah, I enjoyed it weirdly. I'm actually surprised at how comfortable I was doing it. I'm definitely my father's son when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah, I loved it. It was great. And I have a claim to fame that I wore number 9 shirt before Parkgate's number 9. So that shirt has come up against Sean Morrison in a game of football. And I want it at the end of the season, by the way. If we can sort that out, I'll be well happy. But I don't think that'll happen, will it?
We'll get in the shirt.
Yeah.
I think they'll need him for next season.
No,
so probably not.
Shame. Oh, well.
So, yeah. Thank you to you two for doing that. Because I won't do it.
No worries.
Right, let's end it there because that's 54 minutes done. Thank you, everybody who has been with us. Please do subscribe on YouTube if you haven't done already. And we did a very quick instant reaction. If you want to go look at that on Friday, we sat in a dugout and talked about football for 5 minutes. So I can have a look at that if you haven't done already. We will probably be back next Sunday, news depending. If nothing happens, then we might not come back next Sunday. We'll wait and see what happens over the next week or so. But keep an eye on the socials for that. So we're on Threads now. So if you are on there, follow us. UFC_pod, I think we are. So get over there, follow us on Twitter, Facebook as well. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kev, for being with us tonight. Appreciate it, mate.
No problem.
Danny, thank you very much. This just remember, in 10 years' time when you're like on doing catwalk in Paris and things like that, just remember your rules, all right?
Yeah, I will do. I'll be signed up, mate.
If Paris is going to be a new name for a nightclub in Rotherham, then I think that might be true.
Now, what you on about? I'm going to get signed by AFC Richmond. What you on about?
And Mick, thank you very much. You can now go enjoy your beer in the lovely. Is it Welsh sunshine or is it raining like it has been here?
No, it's beautiful, mate. It's absolutely glorious.
Wonderful. Well, go enjoy it. And thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next time. And up the Millers.
Up the Millers.
Ravel, ambitious, brilliant! Mule with it, Wood's got around the back, and Richie Wood has done it again! The magic man has come up with another trick! Well, here's a chance to seal it!